Welcome to the Busy Signal. My name is Jim, and this is my retrostalgic 80s, 90s, and early 2000s podcast. This show aims to salute all the stuff from back in the day that is now extinct or quickly going that way. The Busy Signal, episode 51. Thanks for listening. And again, everybody, I know I've said this before in the last few episodes, but anybody who's been listening over the last 50 episodes for any period of time, I totally appreciate that. Thank you. And if you're new to the show, welcome. We keep it fun and short on the Busy Signal. Bite-sized episodes with big nostalgia flavor. That's what we do here. So it's been well over a year since the last once common, now extinct episode. And you can dig back into the archives and find that it's episode number 8. And since then, just like clockwork, time marches on, things continue to become outdated or completely extinct, which has happened since episode 8. So we're revisiting some of the things that at one time or another between the 1980s and early 2000s were a big deal, cutting edge, necessary for daily living, or were just the coolest things of their time. In other words, things that were once common and are now extinct. Part 3, here we go. First up on the chopping block, owning an encyclopedia. Back in the day, we had a phrase. Look it up. If you needed to know something, you looked it up, either in a dictionary or an encyclopedia. These days, the phrase has become Google it. But when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, Googling wasn't a thing, at least until the late 90s. And then even not everybody had the internet in their home, so our database for knowledge was the encyclopedia. And if you know, you know, because owning a whole set of encyclopedias was a big deal. If you didn't own a set, that was okay too. Your local library had a set, maybe a couple sets, maybe in different languages, who knows? There were literally, because encyclopedias were big and heavy, there were literally tons of encyclopedias to choose from, but the gold standard was the Encyclopedia Britannica. It was always updating and releasing new versions, and the commercials would play on repeat for you to buy a set of Encyclopedia Britannica. I remember from like the late 80s into the early 90s, it was always the same nerdy looking kid in a white room with a very 90s mullet haircut trying to sell you a set of encyclopedias.
Remember me? I'm the kid that had a report due on space. Then I got the new Encyclopedia Britannica.
He had a report due on space, and then he got the new Encyclopedia...
I think I made that abundantly clear.
Yes.
Anyhow, here it is. I mean, hey, everybody knows this is the greatest encyclopedia in the world. Help me get a B+.
Why not an A?
Too long. I found so much great information I put it all in. Overkill. The next report I did was for my science class on the human body. Scored an A.
Good.
Look at this. I always wondered where my mandibula was.
For details on how you can own the new Encyclopedia Britannica...
Let's have that 800 number. Excellent.
Just call this number and we'll send you this free booklet.
Tell them about the gift.
And just for previewing Britannica in your home, we'll give you this 3-volume desk reference set.
This is like having your own research library at home.
Yes. So if you would be interested in owning the new Encyclopedia Britannica...
Don't press. They see the phone number. If they want to, they'll call.
I guess you're right.
Trust me.
And the Encyclopedia Britannica's been in print since 1768. I'm thinking its staying power is pretty much how it became the standard of knowledge books, right? But by the early 90s, with those commercials with the nerdy mullet kid, the staying power was about to run out. Yes, Google was on the horizon, but something else was knocking on Britannica's door. Microsoft. Microsoft tried to do a collaboration with Encyclopedia Britannica in the form of an encyclopedia on CD-ROM. But EB shunned the idea, and they said CD-ROMs were just a fad for kids. So in 1993, Microsoft Encarta 94 was released on CD-ROM for under $400 and was available for Windows 3.1. It was revolutionary. It was a lot of different things. It was a search engine. It had color pictures, videos. It was a full encyclopedia. Oh, and by the way, it was cheaper than a full set of physical Encyclopedia Britannica books. So Encyclopedia Britannica did eventually offer their own CD-ROM for free when you ordered a set of physical books. Or you could have just ordered the CD-ROM, but that would have run you about $1,200. And that Google thing that was on the horizon, yeah, it only got bigger and everybody depends on it now. But as an encyclopedia experience, Wikipedia launched in 2001, is free, and maintained by a community of volunteers, meaning it could have false information that needs to be weeded out. But that's life now. That's our combination of how we get information, isn't it? Google and Wikipedia for when you need to look it up. Microsoft Encarta died in 2009, and Encyclopedia Britannica published its last physical volume in 2010. Britannica.com is still available if you're interested. Look it up. We've talked about VCRs on another episode of the 1980s Tech. That was episode 13, but not in the context we're going to talk about them today. So VCRs have been around in one shape or form since the 1950s, and in homes since the 1960s. This is how we dealt with appointment television. Pop in a fresh VHS, set the time to record, and you were free to live life knowing you could watch the big game, Dallas, ER, Lost, whatever, at your own leisure. Everyone had a VCR. Everyone. But the joke was always that no one knew how to set the time on the VCR. It wasn't a great joke, really, but for decades, the VCR was constantly being improved. It got better at not eating your VHS tapes. It got faster at rewinding. It got quieter. It got smaller. I literally watched the evolution of the VCR. When my family first got a VCR, I thought it was so cool because it had a remote control. Also, that remote control was a corded remote control. Like, you could trip over it if you weren't paying attention going to get more popcorn. Then the DVD was introduced in the US in 1997, and people loved DVDs. It was a thing. Except you couldn't record live TV. The solution was the VCR-DVD combo, and that came out in 1999. Because people still had, and probably still do somehow, VHS tapes, tons of VHS tapes, and this was the best of both worlds.
Now you can watch your movie on tape or disc with the Magnavox DVD VCR combo. Walmart.
But as DVR and streaming became a solid option for people, the need for VHS dipped. Plus, home movies are now all recorded on phones and not bulky camcorders, but here's the thing. I personally haven't owned or had a need for a VCR in almost 20 years. So I wasn't paying attention when they stopped making VCRs altogether in 2016. I had no idea. I seriously thought I could still go and buy a new DVD/VCR combo machine like at Target or Walmart or at least Amazon. But nope, you gotta hit eBay for a used one. I had no idea that these things just poof, disappeared almost a decade ago. Holy moly, time flies. And along the same lines, once upon a time, there was only one way to watch TV, and that was free. Cable TV eventually became a paid option for people, but on the whole, there was still plenty of free TV, over-the-air, UHF, VHF TV to be had. Of course, simply sitting in front of a TV was fine, but what if it's 1985 or even 1995 and you want to be able to watch TV on the go? Or in another room that doesn't have a solid wood-encased television? Or you just want to be alone and watch TV instead of in a public or common space? In a time before iPads, smartphones, with high-speed mobile home internet, we had portable TVs, and these varied widely in size and style from one manufacturer to another. They could be a little clunky or actually pocket-sized. I remember that my family had a portable TV growing up. Maybe it was like a 6-inch television. It was black and white and took 6 D-cell batteries. It wasn't that bad, really. I mean, I remember like there was like a whole week where we had a bad ice storm and there was no power. So that little portable TV was the only way I could watch The Price is Right because school was canceled. In 1982, Sony, the company famous at the time for the Walkman, released the Watchman. It had a 2-inch flat display CRT screen. It was really pretty cool. I would have loved one, but I mean, I was like 1 year old when that came out. But a flat screen television CRT in your pocket, that's pretty cool.
You're about to see the Me TV, the Sony Watchman. It's the She TV, the Luigi TV, the first truly personal TV, the Sleepy TV, the world's first flat-screen television, just over an inch thick, or is it thin? And one even has an AM/FM radio, the Referee TV, the Sony Watchman TV, the one and only TV for the one and only you.
My favorite portable TV is the one that I technically never had. The Sega Game Gear was the rival handheld gaming console to Nintendo's Game Boy. Sega had a color screen and never squandered an opportunity to point this out. Capitalizing on the small color screen, they developed a TV tuner. It plugged into the back of your Game Gear like a game cartridge, but had a TV tuner and collapsible antenna on top, thus turning the Game Gear into a legit portable television.
Shifted a high gear, gear up Game Gear. Full color action right in the palm of your hand, day or night. Shine in black and white. Awesome games, great Sega names. Game Gear. Game Gear, full color graphics, stereo capable, action that's loud and clear. Optional tuner makes it a color TV. Game Gear comes with columns game. Other games and TV tuners sold separately. Batteries not included. Available at these fine stores. Gear up.
Problem was, it rapidly drained the batteries, even faster than gameplay, which was like maybe an hour. So long car trips were just not a thing for the Game Gear. So really, in order to watch the TV, you had to be plugged into AC power, which kind of kills the point of portable, right? I mean, I had a Game Gear, but I never found the TV tuner for sale anywhere to buy. I still might be pretty bummed about that. I'm not sure. I think I am. Oh well. It'd be pretty useless today anyway, because ever since 2009, UHF, VHF, they've been gone, and they gave way to the HD signals of today. I'm pretty sure there's got to be a hack somewhere for a Game Gear to get television over HD or make it like a little smart TV, but I don't know why you would do that, but I'm sure it's out there. Because I'm sure you can buy devices that receive HD TV signals, but we also receive cell signals and Wi-Fi, so streaming video and live TV is now the norm. Analog TV's been gone for almost 20 years, and it pains me to say that, really. Like, I didn't know that VCRs were gone for almost 10 years, and analog TV's been gone for like 15 years, almost 20 years. It's crazy. We all have portable handheld TVs now in our pockets, so enjoy. Like Kip in Napoleon Dynamite, I love technology. You can go back in the show archives and find a few episodes dedicated to technology, but I've never addressed when technology peaked. That would be in the late 90s and early 2000s. This was the definitive pinnacle of where style and high tech merged to bring about a golden age. See-through electronics was a way of life. If your landline phone, pager, computer monitor, Nintendo 64, or other gaming controllers weren't housed in translucent plastic, you were living in the past. Blue, green, purple, red, orange, and clear. These colors were super cool. And it didn't matter what color your devices were as long as you could see all the electricery inside. I mean, it just seems so futuristic to be able to see all the transistors, resistors, chips, boards, wires, and solder joints, right? And be using the device at the same time. One of the most iconic see-through items at the time came out in 1998, the iMac from Apple.
Hey, did you ever ask anybody what their favorite color is? I'm sure you have, or people have asked you. It's not the most interesting question, but how many times do you say beige? Never. Because it's one of the worst colors. It's hardly even a color. It's like oatmeal or sand, or it's nothing. It's beige, it's boring, it's bland. Now computers, why in heaven's name have the people who've made computers before never done anything but beige? That's nuts. That's nuts. Have they been in thinking jail? That's crazy.
But seriously, everything for several years was see-through, and I honestly miss it. Bring it back. One of the unsung heroes of the 90s and early 2000s, the CD binder. This was the ideal way to take your music with you. It was great to go to a friend's house, bringing your own music with you. You and your friends could flip through the binder and you could show off your music collection or compare binders with friends. There was just something so special and tangible about physically having all of your music with you. Yeah, the binders could be a bit clunky, and what if you had so many CDs that one binder wasn't enough? Well, you had two binders, right? And of course, you also had a CD sleeve that hung on your car visor for your CDs that you wanted to listen to in the car. We had CDs tucked away everywhere, binders, towers, loose in our cars, and the amount of CDs that we had really just increased in the late 90s with the invention of the CD burner.
Come on now, open up your front foot a little bit. Come on, man, you go, hands up. Get with it yourself.
I got an idea.
Wisdom doesn't come easily, nor is it easy to pass on.
Now Philips has a way to create your own CD that holds everything you know about the things that interest you, and share your words, pictures, and music with anyone you want.
Let's go! got anything for the pictures?
The Philips CD rewritable disk drive. Create CD-ROMs on your own PC.
We had all sorts of gadgets and apparatuses for hauling and storing our CDs. I loved my CD binder. I still have it. It's like a time capsule. And I also had the car visor sleeve for convenient and quick CD changes in the car. But I assure you, I never changed CDs while driving. That is distracted driving. Don't do that. One thing that I didn't have was the car CD changer. I had friends that had it though, and they were always hanging out at the back of their car with their trunks popped open, CD binder in hand, trying to figure out what 5 or 6 CDs to load into the changer. And that was cool, but it just seemed quicker and easier to grab a CD from my visor and swap those CDs before heading out on the road. Either way, CD binders, visors, sleeves, or trunk-mounted CD changers, they're all mostly extinct at this point. Artifacts from another time. Do you still have your CD binder? I'm thinking about putting mine up on Instagram and flipping through it. At Busy Signal Cast if you're interested. So keep an eye out for that. The end is here. 34 years ago, AOL, America Online, launched its dial-up internet service, delivering the World Wide Web straight into people's homes via phone lines and modems. By 1995, over 10 million people were online with AOL dial-up. There was nothing like it, I assure you. You'd get home from school, kick on your big tower computer, whatever it was, maybe an IBM, Gateway, or even a Dell dude, double-click that AOL icon and listen to the opening theme song of the internet. And then,
welcome. You've got mail.
That phrase is so iconic, it got its own movie in 1998 with Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, and Dave Chappelle. This is how we did the internet, and a lot of times you could get like 800 hours of AOL free. AOL installation free trial CDs were everywhere. I remember that there was always a supply of AOL CDs at my local Blockbuster, like at the checkout counter. I still have one. It's still in the shrink wrap. So I guess it's too late to cash in on the 175 hours or 50-day trial of AOL that I have. Maybe I'll frame it, I don't know. It's from 2002, and it promises that I can surf the web up to 5 times faster without a high-speed connection. What kind of voodoo is on that disk? A 56K modem can only handle 56K, so did AOL get that to go any faster? Did they overclock the modem somehow? I don't know. Either way, this is the end of an era that I already thought had ended long ago, so here's to AOL dial-up. You will be remembered. The good, the bad, and the slow.
Goodbye.
So the inspiration for this episode was the news of AOL shuttering their dial-up. I didn't actually think I'd be doing another once common now extinct show, but then my brain kicked in and here we are. So do you still have any of your old CD binders or VCRs? Did you hang on to any of those superior see-through electronics? If you still have or use any of the featured items in this episode, share it up on Instagram and tag @BusySignalCast. I'll reshare it and stare in awe at your treasure. And while you're on the gram, karate chop that follow button for your daily shot of nostalgia. You'll find a literal junk ton of retrostalgic goodness to take you back in the day. Did you like this episode? There's 50 more, all for free. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your pods, and perhaps think about rating it 5 stars or writing a positive review. That would be super rad of you, I promise. Your rad points would go through the roof. And oh, by the way, you can catch me as a guest on episode number 23 of the Retro Resurgence podcast. Chad and Ken and I throw it back with nostalgic sounds. You know I love nostalgic sounds, so check that out. All right, everyone, that's it for this one. I'm going to go see if there's a way to hack a Game Gear. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you later. Once again, I'd like to say thanks for listening. And as always, you can listen to The Busy Signal everywhere quality podcasts are streamed. Hit the subscribe button to have a new episode delivered directly to your favorite device every other Friday. If you really like the show, leave a 5-star rating or a positive review on Apple and Spotify. That lets everybody else know to come check out what you already think is awesome. You can also head over to Instagram and follow the show at BusySignalCast for even more retrostalgic content. I share a good amount of fun stuff that isn't mentioned on the episodes. While you're there, say hi in the comments. Don't be shy. And until next time, remember, reach out and touch the past.
That's nuts. Have they been in thinking jail?